Before we get into today's edition of Just the Truth, Mike Lindell sent me a note yesterday. He has a special for the 6-piece towel set, $25 when you use promo code Joey. Just go to mypillow.com, use promo code Joey. You'll get the $25 offer on the 6-piece towel set, and I promise you, these will be the most comfortable, the most absorbent towels that you own. mypillow.com, use promo code Joey, get the 6-piece towel set for just $25. Thanks for joining me in the PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition Studio. To lose weight for the last time, visit myphdweightloss.com. Joe Biden spoke to the Democrat National Convention on opening night, kicking off the week-long festivities that will end this Thursday at the coronation of Kamala Harris as the party's nominee. We have the highlights for you today. By the way, as the DNC kicked off last night, and soon after they released the party platform, observers quickly picked up on the fact that it repeatedly referred to Biden's second term. They had gone through the party platform so quickly, they failed to remove mention of Joe Biden's reelection. Andrew McCarthy wrote a scathing column published in the New York Post yesterday outlining the latest information released by House Republicans showing just how corrupt Joe Biden and the Biden family business is. We have those highlights as well. Pittsburgh diners were fuming over a staged Kamala Harris campaign stop as a popular restaurant was cleared to allow bussed-in Harris supporters to fill the restaurant. And a man who said that baby powder from Johnson & Johnson, a pharmaceutical drug company worth billions of dollars, caused his terminal cancer, was awarded $63 million by a South Carolina jury.
I told you we'd be back.
And ye shall know the truth, and the truth shall make you free.
It's Joey Hudson.
I wanted to name it the Joey Hudson bill, but, they don't allow you to put names on bills. But I wanted to call it the Joey Hudson bill because I know that one's been near and dear to you for a number of years.
That's how it's done. Let your voice be heard.
And the truth shall set you free.
Here's Joey Hudson.
Good evening. It is so good to be with everyone this evening in this hall and everyone at home. This is going to be a great week. And I want to kick us off by celebrating our incredible President, Joe Biden, who will be speaking later tonight. Joe, thank you for your historic leadership, for your lifetime of service to our nation, and for all you will continue to do. We are forever grateful to you. Thank you, Joe. And looking out at everyone tonight, I see the beauty of our great nation. People from every corner of our country and every walk of life are here, united by our shared vision for the future of our country. And this November, we will come together and declare with one voice, as one people, we are moving forward. With optimism, hope, and faith, so guided by our love of country, knowing we all have so much more in common than what separates us. Let us fight for the ideals we hold dear, and let us always remember, when we fight, we win. God bless you. God bless the United States of America. Good night, everyone.
Vice President Kamala Harris making a short visit last night. Wow, this is going to be a long couple of months listening to her. I watched most of last night. Actually, I watched pretty much all of last night, so you don't have to. So Kamala Harris making a brief appearance at the opening of the DNC in Chicago. DNC Chair Jamie Harrison, Chicago Mayor Brandon Johnson both kickstarted the festivities last night with separate speeches. Former Secretary of State Hillary Clinton receiving a standing ovation, cheers that appeared louder than they were for Vice President Kamala Harris, actually. After the roughly 1.5 minute long ovation, Clinton thanked President Biden, leading to chants of "Thank you, Joe" throughout the arena. Others speaking earlier in the evening leading up to the prime time, Xandria Ocasio-Cortez walked out on the stage thanking Kamala Harris and Tim Walz for their work at the top of the ticket and President Biden for his leadership, she said. She spoke about how her move from working as a bartender in New York to becoming a lawmaker, emphasizing that Harris represents the middle class. She said she's working tirelessly to secure a ceasefire in Gaza and to bring the hostages home. Kamala is for you, she said. The Democrats can't gather, of course, without hearing from the unions. United Automobile Workers President Shawn Fain branded former President Donald Trump as a scab and praised Vice President Kamala Harris' stance on labor in a very fiery speech that that was received very much so by the enthusiastic delegates at the DNC. Fain said, when Donald Trump was president, corporate America ran wild. Donald Trump did not bring back the auto industry. He said, Trump did nothing. Donald Trump is all talk and Kamala Harris walks the walk. Wow. These unions, I'll tell you, last night there were times I just had to mute the television and then I would turn it back on. Golden State Warriors basketball coach Steve Kerr was even on the stage last night. He endorsed Kamala Harris on stage, telling the DNC that Kamala Harris and Tim Walz have the same values that he saw coaching the U.S. team at the Olympics. He said, the joy, the passion, the commitment to our country that I saw at the Olympics, that is what Kamala Harris and Tim Walz have. He's seeing something that I have missed. New York Governor Kathy Hochul was there as well. She kind of stumbled over her script last night, saying that Kamala Harris would be America's first president. Of course, she meant to say the first female president, maybe the first Indian president, maybe the first black president, first black female president. I don't know what she meant to say, but she said, are you ready to elect Kamala Harris the first president of the United States? Yes, you are, she said, while smiling real big and waving her hands in the air. She missed the cue there. President Joe Biden's 11th hour decision to drop out of the 2024 presidential race surely has had some implications on the DNC. They have scrambled, and it was kind of obvious yesterday that this was pulled together for Kamala Harris pretty quickly. After the DNC released its party platform ahead of the opening session yesterday, observers quickly picked up on the fact that it repeatedly referred to Joe Biden's second term. Somebody had not proofread it. The document read in one instance, in President Biden's second term, he will continue selecting judges who will protect fundamental rights and who represent the diversity of American experience. In another, it said, in President Biden's second term, he will push Congress to pass legislation that is consistent with our values as a nation. All told, there were 19 separate references to a Joe Biden second term in the party platform, leading to some mockery on social media, as you can imagine. Posting on X, the official Trump campaign account said, Democrats didn't even bother to update their platform to remove the dozen mentions of a Biden second term. Zero daylight between Biden and Kamala, exclamation mark. Of course, referring to Karine Jean-Pierre last week, talking about the fact that there is no daylight between Joe Biden and Kamala Harris. The Harris campaign cringed when she said that. Mark Thyssen of the Washington Post wrote, well, they're right. Harris would be Biden's second term. The DNC has noted that the current version of the platform referring to an unlikely second term for Biden was passed by committee on July 16th prior to Biden's decision to step aside, although it's unclear why it couldn't have been amended after he dropped out a week later. But I guess that was just one of those small details that they overlooked. One of the big things that was talked about, of course, last night, as speaker after speaker, Congressman Jim Clyburn from South Carolina giving a rousing speech thanking I almost said Donald Trump, thanking Joe Biden for his years of public service. Senator Ralph Warnock from Georgia, again, praising Joe Biden and ushering in a new era of Kamala Harris. Hillary Clinton, all praising, singing praises to Joe Biden. One commentator, and I forget who it was, though noted that this is a different convention than Joe Biden ever imagined. And they also pointed out the fact that Joe Biden will never experience what a nominee experiences on their final evening of the convention when they give their acceptance speech and the balloon drop happens. We saw it in Milwaukee just a few weeks ago. And it's quite amazing. And I've seen it a number of times at both Republican and Democrat conventions. And I don't care how many times you see it, it's still special. Joe Biden will never see that. Because of COVID, they did not have a convention in 2020. And, of course, he's been kicked off of the ticket this year. Joe Biden gave his speech last night, left immediately for California for a vacation. Hope you'll join the conversation today. 864-477-JOEY, 864-477-5639. Send your comments to the Furman Ford text line. You can leave a quick voice message, and your emails are always welcome, joey@joeyhudson.com. Soon going to be 4 years ago that I started my journey with PhD weight loss and nutrition. I lost 30 pounds pretty quickly, I might add, and I've been able to maintain that for almost 4 years now. It'll be 4 years coming up in July. If this is the year that you have decided that you're going to get healthy, that you're going to lose that weight, that visceral fat that's so damaging around your waist, then now's the time to start. Let me encourage you to make that call today. 864-252-4925. Set up your initial consultation with PhD Weight Loss and Nutritionist. Boy, am I glad that I met Dr. Ashley Lucas 4 years ago and that she got me on the right path to getting healthy. You're going to be able to do things that you may have thought you'd never be able to do again. Play with the kids, the grandkids, be able to hike and walk and maybe play a full 18-round hole of golf and be able to do it and not get so winded. Because when you take that excess weight off, you're just going to feel better. You're going to be able to focus. You're going to be able to sleep better. Your overall health is just going to be improved. 864-252-4925. Call, set up your initial consultation. Find them online at myphdweightloss.com. PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition, the official partner of the Clemson Tigers. This Saturday, August the 24th, people all around Lake Kiowee are going to gather in South Cove Park to show their support of Donald Trump. It's the 2024 Lake Kiowee Trump Parade, and if you're in the area, I hope you'll plan to join us. I had a chance to catch up with my friend Mike Gallagher, and we talked about it. Mike's going to be joining me this weekend. We have a big promotion going on the radio station that Mike and I are heard on in the upstate of South Carolina, News Talk 98.9 WORD. And I wanted to share my conversation with Mike with you about this very exciting day that we're going to experience on Saturday. On our guest line, Mike Gallagher, are you excited about being at Lake Kiowee this weekend?
Are you kidding me? I'm counting down the days. You know, being a Floridian now, I've seen some of these Trump boat parades, and they're fun to watch, but nobody's going to pull off a Trump boat parade than the residents of Oconee County and Lake Kiowee. There's going to be nothing like it. You've been working hard. I know you got your hammer and your nails out for the banners and all of the are we going to shoot fireworks off the pontoon, or are we allowed to do that?
Ooh, I'm not sure that's safe. I'm going to have to do a little research on that. Fireworks, gasoline on a boat. I'm not sure.
No bottle rockets mixed with the gas. No, but it's going to be a great time. And when people started telling me about it, because I was supposed to come a week or so ago, and somebody in the upstate said, Mike, why don't you wait until August 24th for the big Lake Kiowee Trump boat parade? And I said, well, I happen to know some people who are pretty familiar with Lake Kiowee, so I'm in. I can't wait, and we're going to have a great time.
Well, it's been fun because you and I have talked about it multiple times, but I've been working some with Candy Bianco, who is just someone who's a Trump supporter, and she was in the last Trump boat parade in 2020 when they had hundreds of boats show up, and no one seemed to be pulling one together this year. So Candy just took it upon herself to start the effort, and of course we've gotten involved here at News Talk 98.9 WORD, and I think we're going to have a big crowd out there.
Well, this is the kind of organic support that President Trump enjoys all over the country, and it's fun to see it in action. There's a video that went viral this week. A kid goes into a Lowe's and was asking all the customers, Trump or Kamala, and everybody said Trump, except for the grumpy old guy that worked at the Lowe's. And he proceeded to cuss the kid out and cuss out Trump, and even said, if I had the chance, I'd shoot Trump. So, Kamala supporters are falling apart. These polls that we're seeing nationally, they're neck and neck, and frankly, they shouldn't be. I mean, one thing that people are forgetting when they're, celebrating Kamala's honeymoon is that if you look at where Kamala Harris, the Democrat nominee, stands today compared to where Joe Biden stood in 2020 or where Hillary Clinton stood in 2016, it's not even close. Both Hillary and Biden were well ahead of Trump at this point in the game in those two election cycles. And so, with Trump behind a point or ahead a point, Fox News Channel poll, he's up a point. He's up by 6 with independents. He's getting record support from Black and Hispanic voters. I don't want to say it out loud, but I will because we're friends. And I love this radio station. I believe we're going to see a landslide. We're going to see a nice, significant victory for Donald Trump. But that doesn't mean we can give up. We can't get complacent. And so having these big Trump boat parades all over the country, just another way to show our support organically and authentically for the 45th president of the United States.
Yep. And look, I get a little nervous when you start talking about a landslide because I agree with you.
I know.
But I go hot and cold because, I'll look at a poll that shows Trump up by 4, 5, 6, 8% or whatever. Then I'll see another one that shows Kamala Harris leading by 1 or 2 points when I see these types of things. And who knows which one to trust, which one's accurate.
Well, that's true. But let's remember that he just has never been in this place before where he's been either even or ahead the whole year. And let's face it, the polls have favored him all year.
Yeah.
And that was definitely not the case in 2016. It certainly wasn't the case in 2020. Look, we know what happened in 2020. It was one of the weirdest elections of our lifetime. He got sick with COVID right before. COVID upended everything. They came up with all kinds of goofy rules changes at polling places all over the country with drive-through. And listen, I've been a big advocate. I vote on Election Day. I don't like early voting. I don't like mail-in ballots. But doggone it, we're going to have to take every path that's available to us if we want to have a chance of winning this election. And because like the Trump vote parade on Lake Kiowee, this kind of support is grassroots, it's enthusiastic, it's authentic. The support for Kamala Harris isn't real. How do you support somebody who you don't really know what she stands for?
Right.
All we know is she's got a track record of 3.5 years of a disaster, and she's got to own that. And so, as I like to say to our mutual friend Mark Davis in Dallas, I like our chances, but you're right. I probably shouldn't use the L word, but I'm feeling pretty good despite the neck-and-neck nature of the polls. I think Trump's going to have this in the bag.
Yep. Well, what we do know for sure is that Donald Trump is going to win on Lake Kiowee big time coming up on Saturday as hundreds of people will be showing up. And if you're not familiar with Lake Kiowee, just Google South Cove Park, or better yet, go to 989WORD.com, 989WORD.com. We have all the information on there. We will assemble at South Cove Park at 11 a.m. on this coming Saturday, August 24th. And we'll start there, and we'll make our way north up past the Duke Energy facility, on past Mile Creek Park and multiple parks. We'll end up what is known as the Party Cove. Saturday is going to be known as the Republican Party Cove because, Mike, we're going to have hundreds of boats there.
Well, and I don't want anybody to worry or panic that I'm going to be crashing the boat. I'm not going to be piloting the pontoon. I'm going to be the navigator. I'm going to be your navigator and your cruise boat cruise director. I will not be. Joey Hudson is going to be piloting the boat. So don't anybody panic. because I've been known to have some missteps behind the wheel of a boat before, and this could be a disaster in the making if I was trying. And with all those boats around, it makes me a little bit nervous. So I know that the Hudson Gallagher pontoon, the WORD boat, is going to be in good, capable hands with skipper Joey Hudson. So nobody has to be concerned about any accidents.
Yep. You'll be in charge. I'm going to have you a PA system set up. You'll have a microphone. You'll be able to make announcements and all. You'll be in charge of greeting people as they come by there as we kick off the start of the parade. Because that's our plan is, Candy has said we can be right there beside her. She will blow the initial horn to start the parade. She's going to start. She wants us to kind of hang back and greet people as they come by and as they file in line, and then we will get in and we'll bring up the rear.
This is going to be a wild ride. I mean, I'm trying to picture this logistically. I mean, I got visions of life jackets and the Coast Guard and sled might get involved. I mean, this could be a real adventure. But hey, I'm always up for an adventure, and I can't think of a better place to be than this Saturday on Lake Kiowee for the big Trump boat parade. We're going to have a ball, Joey, and I can't wait to meet as many people as possible on beautiful Lake Kiowee.
Just look for the pontoon that has the big poster with Joey Hudson on it.
Yeah, I'm sure. If your poster's bigger than mine, we're going to have a problem. I'll guarantee you. Now, you wait and see. Everybody thinks you're so nice. Oh, Joey's so nice. You wait and see. That thing, it'll be Joey Hudson, and then you'll have to get out binoculars to see Mike Gallagher. You'll have to get out a magnifying glass. I'll be buried in the back of the thing. It'll be Mike who? That's all right. I know what a big deal you are in the upstate. I get it. I've come to peace with that. You're the big star around here. I'm just vice president of the Happy to Be Here Club.
Well, you do have a poster on there. I'm not. I hope I didn't get the measurements incorrect there. I'm sure you have.
I hope you spelled the name. I hope you spelled the name right. It'll be Mark. It'll be Mark. I'll get up there and it'll be Mark Gallagher. It'll be Joey Hudson and Mark Gallagher. You wait and see. He'll get me somehow. I can see this coming.
Mike Gallagher. We're going to have a great time on Lake Kiowee coming up on Saturday. Hope to see you there again. South Cove Park starting at 11 a.m. We want to see you there. Whether you're replacing a broken appliance or maybe you're just upgrading, you're totally remodeling the kitchen, when it's time to get those new appliances, when you're ready for them, you don't want to have to wait weeks or even months to get started using them, right? Well, that's not the case when you shop with my friends at Discounted Appliance Warehouse. With over 11,000 square feet and 1,500 appliances at any given time, you can buy today and use today quite often. I'm talking about shopping with my friends at Discounted Appliance Warehouse in Pickens. It's worth the short drive over to Pickens. Jeff, Johnny, Kyle, the whole team over there, they'll take good care of you. They have an award-winning service department, expert installation, extended warranties, and at Discounted Appliance Warehouse, they treat you like family. You're more than just a credit card swipe to all the team over there. Discounted Appliance Warehouse, they're proud to offer Speed Queen, the only washer and dryers with manufacturer's warranties that cover parts and labor. You owe it to yourself if you're looking for a new appliance to head over to Pickens to Discounted Appliance Warehouse online at dawpickens.com, dawpickens.com. Email yesterday from Tom up in North Carolina. Tom wanted me to be sure and let everyone know that, yes, there is a Trump boat parade taking place this Saturday, Saturday afternoon at 3 p.m. on Lake James. Tom had heard me talking about our boat parade on Lake Kiowee this Saturday. We hope you'll join us. If you don't already know about this, we're going to be kicking the Lake Kiowee 2024 Trump Boat Parade off at 11 a.m. at South Cove Park. We're going to have the 98.9 WORD pontoon out there, our floating command center, the floating broadcast center. Mike Gallagher will be with me. And we're going to have a great time on Lake Kiowee. Again, that starts at 11 a.m. Tom wanted me to let you know, though, that up on Lake James in North Carolina, they're going to be having their Trump Patriot Boat Parade. Theirs starts at 3 o'clock. And they want you to join in with them with a bunch of patriots up in North Carolina. It's going to start. It's being put on by the Foothills Conservative Network. And you can find this on Facebook. Just search for Trump Patriot Boat Parade. But again, it starts at 3 o'clock. It's going to be led by Dim Sum Party Boat, and will start at Bear Creek Access in Nebo, North Carolina. and it's going to go towards Canal Bridge, Circle Goat Island, and Patty's Creek. So if you know Lake James, I guess you will know those areas. But they want you to join them this Saturday as well, starting at 3 o'clock. So lots of great Trump boat parades happening. Hey, if you know of one that I've missed, let me know. We're happy to promote yours as well. I lost my train of thought. What I started to tell you was that Tom had emailed me about the Trump Patriot Boat Parade on Lake James, and he said, well, you gave us your email address, so I just decided to email you. Well, that's why I give it out, because I love your emails. Joey@joeyhudson.com. If you have any information, something you want me to see or you think I need to see, look, I'm open to it, and I'll read every single one. I try to respond to every single one. I may not always respond, but I try to. But Joey@joeyhudson.com is how you can send me a quick note, and I hope you will. Andrew McCarthy wrote a scathing column that was published in the New York Post yesterday. It's titled, "Damning Impeachment Report Shows Why Dems Were Desperate to Get Rid of Corrupt Biden." McCarthy, of course, a former prosecutor himself, he writes, Democrats will open their convention with a celebration of President Joe Biden, the candidate for whom they nigh unanimously voted in primaries, only to jettison as unelectable as November beckoned. What better time then to remind the public of why Biden was thrown under the proverbial bus? That's the thinking of House Republicans who've released a final report on their long-running probe of the Biden family business, i.e. the lucrative sale of Biden's political influence to agents of corrupt and anti-American regimes. It's two extremes of beckoning the Biden record. He writes, the Democrat encomia will be as cynical as their bookend project to be executed Tuesday through Thursday, the transformation of Biden's Vice President Kamala Harris from unpopular speaker of word salads to America's progressive sweetheart. Of course, Biden and his record are the last things Democrats want to remind the country of. They're doing this Chicago farewell because it's the price he and his family, the Biden brand collaborators, demanded before he would step aside. Republicans, by contrast, mean every word of their report. It is an important summary of the Biden family business, as much accountability as the public can expect, given the limitations of congressional investigations that are stonewalled by an incumbent administration. It's moreover a useful record of that stonewalling, very much including the corruption of the Justice Department, which connects the current Biden administration with the tireless self-dealing of Biden's career, culminating in his term as vice president. He writes, as the investigation spearheaded by House Oversight Chairman James Comer documents and richly corroborates with bank records and testimony from accomplices and whistleblowers, the Biden family cashed in to the tune of more than $27 million in marketing access to the current president. Much of the most egregious influence peddling occurred during Biden's vice presidency. McCarthy goes on to write, it was then that he took meetings with top executives of a corrupt Ukrainian energy company, Burisma, that put his ne'er-do-well son Hunter on their board, paying millions of dollars in exchange for connection to the Biden name, and tellingly slashing Hunter's compensation in 2017 once Joe was out of office. It is kind of curious how they suddenly just cut Hunter Biden off when his dad left the vice president's mansion, didn't it? McCarthy writes, there were the years when the then vice president, after being beseeched by Hunter's Burisma paymasters, pressured Ukrainian officials to fire the prosecutor who, like British law enforcement, was investigating Burisma for corruption. These were the years during which, even as vice president, theatrically railed at Bucharest to crack down on corruption, Hunter reran the Burisma play by taking $1 million from Romanian real estate tycoon Gabriel Popoviciu in exchange for pressuring Romanian anti-corruption authorities to back off. Almost simultaneously, Hunter pressured the Obama-Biden State Department to put in a good word for Burisma with the Italian government. McCarthy writes, naturally, we learned of that only last week. You'll be shocked, I'm sure, to hear that the Biden-Harris administration withheld disclosure, this Biden brand self-dealing until after the plug was pulled on President Biden's 2024 re-election bid. It was also in the Obama years that Xi Jinping, communist Chinese regime, purchased hooks in the Biden family. In 2013, Hunter hitched a ride with Dad on Air Force Two to score an investment partnership, Bohai Harvest RST, with regime insider Jonathan Lai and such partners as the Bank of China. The arrangement helped America's top geopolitical rival land coveted anti-vibration technology with military uses, as well as a $3.8 billion cobalt mine in Africa, abetting China's effort to corner the precious metals market. Further, it was during Joe Biden's vice presidency that the Bidens hooked up with the CEFC, a CCP-dominated Chinese influence operation camouflaged as a regime-backed energy conglomerate. The CEFC deal eventually brought us the now infamous 10% for the big guy, outlining Joe's personal stake. It also gave us Hunter's 2017 WhatsApp shakedown of a CEFC exec explaining, "I'm sitting here with my father wondering why the commitment hasn't been fulfilled, and I will make certain between the man sitting next to me and every person he knows and my ability to forever hold a grudge that you will regret not following my direction." Within days, the floodgates opened, McCarthy writes, with $5 million on top of millions already paid flowing into the Biden family coffers. Comer's committee traces the money trail from Hunter to Joe's brother Jim to Joe Biden himself. All of this monetization of Joe Biden's political power should be part of the criminal tax trial Hunter faces in about 2 weeks. McCarthy says, why isn't it? Because the Biden-Harris Justice Department has buried it. First, prosecutors tried to disappear the case without any charges at all. When the IRS whistleblower revelations of preferential treatment made that plan untenable, DOJ tried to give Hunter a sweetheart plea bargain, but that blew up because an alert federal judge asked a few pointed questions about the patently preferential terms of the deal. In wrapping the column up, McCarthy writes, only after that political humiliation was special counsel David Weiss permitted to charge the cases he had tried to make vanish. By then, though, Weiss had studiously delayed indicting until any charges stemming from influence peddling during Joe Biden's vice presidency, any crimes of, say, tax evasion and failure to register as a foreign agent, had become time-barred by the statute of limitations. Weiss's indictment of Hunter takes pains to avoid mentioning his father, but the elder Biden pervades it without his willingly indulgence. The influence peddling could have been stopped in minutes rather than enduring for years. As Democrats toast President Biden in Chicago, McCarthy says House Republicans provide a necessary tonic. Comer's probe was never destined to end in impeachment. Because of their razor-thin margin and an election just weeks ago, Republicans don't have the numbers. McCarthy says, but the final report is an important counter-argument to the arguments the Democrats will serve up. It is also a reminder of how hard Democrats and the media propped up Joe despite all the evidence of unethical behavior. Keep that in mind as they prop up Kamala Harris as well. He makes some very good points there. It just irritates and angers me to know what Joe Biden was able to do during those 8 years during the Obama administration, selling his access for millions of dollars, yet they're going to get away with it. Hope you'll join the conversation today. 864-477-JOEY, 864-477-5639. Send your comments to the Furman Ford text line. You can leave a quick voice message, and your emails are always welcome, joey@joeyhudson.com. Speaking of the Furman Ford text line, it's never been more important to support locally run businesses owned by people who actually live here in the upstate. Let me take a minute to talk with you about our friends at Furman Ford. If you're looking for a new vehicle, maybe a great pre-owned vehicle, one you can trust, or maybe you're looking to order that special vehicle. Either way, if you want a new one, a brand new one, or a pre-owned that you can trust, the folks at Furman Ford, they're there to help you. Their name is on the sign because their name is on the line, because every single transaction is important to them. Jim Furman, Matthew Furman. They do business the right way. When you stop by, when you give them a call, or maybe when you just send them a quick email, you're always going to have access to a member of the Furman Ford family. And by the way, they also offer great service, and you're not going to have to wait weeks and weeks to get it done. And you do not have had to purchase your vehicle at Furman Ford. Doesn't even have to be a Ford. They service all makes and models. Visit my friends at Furman Ford online at furmanford.com, furmanford.com. Another quick reminder that we're going to be on beautiful Lake Kiowee this Saturday. starting at 11 a.m. for the 2024 Trump Boat Parade. So whether you're a boat owner or you just love the water, come out and celebrate freedom and the spirit of America. The parade kicks off in South Cove Park at 11 a.m. We'll head north past the Duke Energy Complex and on up to Party Cove. We're going to turn it into Republican Party Cove on Saturday. Mike Gallagher will be with me. We're going to be streaming part of the parade too, so be sure and check me out on Facebook, on X. We'll have it up on YouTube as well. We're going to stream as much as we possibly can, but Mike and I will love to see you out there. We'll be at the head of the parade beside Candy Bianco, who's coordinating this, and you'll be able to see her boat with the big red, white, and blue balloons. And when she sounds the horn and we start out, we'll be there to greet you. Find out all the information at 989WRD.com. Hope to see you on Lake Kiowee this Saturday. Christy writes on the text line, Bidenomics has been a success. It's done exactly what it was designed to do, drag Americans to the bottom of the barrel. Trader Joe and Communist Kamala are nothing but figureheads in their positions. This is all Obama with the backing of those who got him where he was as president. The Obamas and Clintons, along with Soros and a lot of others like them, have pulled these puppet strings since Barack was moved into politics. We don't need to get comfortable with this election. They'll do anything to keep Donald Trump out of the White House. You're so right on that, Christy. Texter, the joy theme is not new. Look up Strength Through Joy on DuckDuckGo. This plan has been used before. It's evil, right up their alley. This is the whole theme of joy that Kamala Harris has been promoting recently. Texter, this is Jordan, says, Joey, I have no idea why American Jews vote Democrat. This is my question to you yesterday, because in the Pew Research report that was just released, studying the relevance between people's religion and their party politics, most Jews overwhelmingly support Democrats. And I asked the question, why is that? Because the Republicans in the U.S. Congress and the U.S. Senate, they're the ones who have supported Israel and steadfastly for years, for decades. So it doesn't make sense to me why the Jews are always falling in behind the Democrats. So Jordan says, like I've mentioned in the past, I'm a Jewish man. I was born in Israel to an American father and an Israeli mother, and there's a big difference between Middle Eastern and American Jews when it comes to political stance. We're very conservative back in Israel, and the American Jews here are, for the most part, very liberal, which is something I don't understand at all. Democrats treat us like they treat most black Americans. We only matter at election time. Whereas back in Israel, the Jewish people stand as a whole. If you do find an answer as to why they are left-leaning, I'd be happy to know, because it would be a shock to the American Jews to know that that's how it is back in Israel. Thank you, Jordan. Our inspirational text of the day from Joel says, is from Thessalonians 5:11. Therefore, encourage one another and build each other up, just as, in fact, you are doing. Thank you, Joel. Appreciate your text as well. Yours is welcome. As always, you can email me too, joey@joeyhudson.com. For those of you who live in my home state of South Carolina and listen to me, you may have seen the story. It's pretty astounding. A man who said that baby powder from Johnson & Johnson, the mega pharmaceutical drug company that's worth billions of dollars, caused his terminal cancer, was awarded $63 million by a South Carolina jury. $63 million because he used baby powder manufactured by Johnson & Johnson for decades. Michael Perry is his name. He's from Charleston, South Carolina. He brought the lawsuit against the company behind a whole host of household products that you know and use, mouthwash to allergy medicine. He's one of thousands of people who have sued over baby powder. According to drugwatch.com, there are more than 57,000 cancer cases pending in federal courts. The Post-Inquirer writes, for decades, the company sold the baby powder, which Perry used for nearly 50 years. In late 2019, the company recalled more than 30,000 bottles of the powder after the Food and Drug Administration found evidence of asbestos, which is a known carcinogen in one of the bottles. This discovery came after years of advocates bringing concerns over the ingredients in the baby powder, and after years of Johnson & Johnson claiming the product was safe for consumer use. The company discontinued the use of talcum powder for North American sales in 2020, instead shifting to cornstarch, and later extended that decision to its product distributed across the world in 2023. Wow. Do you use baby powder? I have used it some. I haven't used it. I don't use it on a regular basis, and I guess I'm glad I haven't now after reading this. Mr. Perry was diagnosed with mesothelioma. I didn't pronounce that right. Mesothelioma. It's a type of terminal lung cancer caused almost exclusively by exposure to asbestos. And we've seen these types of cases, asbestos cases, over the years, and people who were affected by this. After using baby powder for years as a substitute for deodorant, he became ill, according to his lawsuit. In a statement by his attorneys, Ben Adams, a partner with Dean, Omar, Branham, and Shirley, who represented Mr. Perry, they wrote, "Neither Perry nor any other consumer should be put in harm's way. Johnson & Johnson continues to refuse to accept accountability for the lives they've taken." The company held fast to its claims that it's not responsible for the thousands of cancer cases and said in a statement to the Post and Courier that the verdict is irreconcilable with the decades of independent scientific evaluations confirming talc is safe and does not cause cancer. I'm not sure how they quite make that statement if, in fact, they have voluntarily, after these thousands of lawsuits, stopped using this product in their product. $63 million. Wow. Of course, again, Johnson & Johnson. Look at products that you use every day, and you'll see Johnson & Johnson. They're worth billions. That's it for today's edition of Just the Truth. Thanks for joining me in the PhD Weight Loss and Nutrition Studio. To lose weight for the last time, visit myphdweightloss.com. If you haven't joined our mailing list yet, visit my website, joeyhudson.com. Just click on the Connect with Joey button so that you can receive our emails and the most up-to-date news. Also, find me on YouTube. Be sure and like, subscribe, follow me on my YouTube channel. Just search for Joey Hudson. Appreciate you spending a few minutes of your day with me. Be sure and forward this edition of Just the Truth to some friends. Just click on the share button. Send it to a few of your contacts, because if we're going to build our community and if we're going to win in November, we got to build an army of conservatives. The way we beat Joe Biden is through educating people, and no better way than encouraging them to listen to Just the Truth. Hey, keep those comments coming via the Furman Ford text line, 864-477-JOEY, 864-477-5639. Your emails always welcome as well. Joey@joeyhudson.com. Don't forget to take advantage of the MyPillow special, $25 for the My Towels 6-piece towel set when you use promo code Joey. Just go to mypillow.com. Always use promo code Joey. We're back again tomorrow. Hope you will be too. Remember, God's got this. He's still in control.